up, Posse? My name is Will Torres. So, my birthday was a few weeks ago, and my parents got me this, Batman Beyond the Complete Series. Now, I grew up with this show quite a bit. This was like my Batman the Animated Series, because, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't grow up with the animated series featuring Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. But this definitely made it up for it, considering it ran for 3 seasons and it contains a 52 episode DVD collection. So yeah, this show was definitely part of my childhood, and I thought to celebrate it, I thought that each video I'm going to do a review of each episode. So I'm going to go into spoiler territory, so if you haven't seen Batman Beyond, then I recommend that you try to watch it as much as possible, and then you can watch this video and see what I think about it. So, with that being said, let's begin. So the episode is called Rebirth, and it starts off in a warehouse, and of course, criminals are up to no good. They're holding this woman hostage when all of a sudden, this masked figure come in, and all of a sudden, holy cow, it's Batman! And boy, does he kick ass! This is why I love Batman, because of how incredibly badass he is. And he's doing pretty good, right up until he starts having problems with his heart. Good timing. And then all of a sudden, he starts getting the living crap beaten out of him. Way to show that to kids. But Batman grabs a laser, because this takes place in the distant future, shoots one of the criminals, and he has a look like. So Batman escapes it, he takes off his mask, and it is none other than Bruce Mother effin' Wayne. Easily the most badass person in the DC universe, and let's be honest, he's going to outlive us all. God bless you, Bruce Wayne. You then cut to 28 years later when we see a train driving by through the futuristic Gotham City, and the news is talking about a gang known as the Jokers. These are basically criminals who take inspiration from the Joker and Harley Quinn, because he was the biggest criminal in all of Gotham. And then all of a sudden, this big, mean Joker comes along on the train, vandalizes the TV, and starts to hit on this young lady who is very creeped out. Then we meet our main character, Terry McGinnis. This guy is a rebel. Well, no, I don't mean this kind of rebel. Punk up. No, I'm talking about a rebel who also has a bit of a good side to him. So Terry beats up the Joker, and the Joker just runs away. Yep, we see a bit of an epic fight scene, but then the Joker crony just runs away. Cut to the next day at Hamilton Hill High School, where we see Dana and her friend walking through the hallway. Now, you're probably thinking, who the heck is Dana? Easy, it's Terry's girlfriend. So they enter the gymnasium and they see Terry McGinnis wrestling with this other kid, Nelson Nash, who, spoiler alert, is the bully in this show. So Terry pretty much just punches Nelson in the face, and he gets disqualified or whatever, and he gets sent home. His dad, Terry's Mr. McGinnis, works for Wayne Powers, which is a corporation that's owned by both Bruce Wayne and this man named Derek Powers, who, spoiler alert, is the villain in this show. Oh, and if you can't tell that Derek Powers is the villain, he has an evil henchman named Mr. Fix, who has a scar running down his left eye. Or is it his right eye? I don't really know. So either way, Terry's dad is entrusted with some secret plans that a co-worker of his, Harry, gave to him, and told me, if anything happens to me, and then that's pretty much the last we see of him until he's taken away by Dr. Fix and his minions. Then we see Warren McGinnis looking at the plans, and he's like, holy crap, this guy's out of his freaking mind! And then Terry comes along and says, I'm going out. And then his dad's like, no, you're grounded. You don't understand me. And then Terry basically runs away. So Terry goes to a club, which I guess means that this show wasn't for kids, and then he meets up with his girlfriend, Dana. When all of a sudden, a bunch of jokers come around, and Terry starts fighting back after they try to hit on her. And then Terry gets on a motorcycle and then quickly runs away. Then he goes goes up a mountain, which reaches us to a bit of a courtyard, and the jokers have him cornered. But all of a sudden, out of the shadows comes an elderly man with a cane, and boy does this guy kick ass! Together, the old man and Terry fend off the jokers, and they quickly retreat. But then the old man starts to have problems with his heart, and then Terry takes him into his home to take some pills. So after the old man takes his pills, Terry tried to go home, which would result in him being grounded for life. But unfortunately, the dog known as Ace is at the door, and he just doesn't really like Terry that much. So Terry decides to call his dad and be like, Dad, I'm going to be late. I'm at some old man's house who I saved because I ran away from the jokers. You are so grounded for life, young man. Thank you very much. But then he finds a bat hidden in a grandfather clock. He opens it, and then it reveals a secret passageway. And that would result in leading him to the Bat Cave. And yeah, he looks at the suit, and the old man, who turns out to be Bruce Wayne, isn't so happy. He's like, "Get out!" Okay, it wasn't actually like that, but he was pretty fierce. Come on, Kevin Conroy's voice can be pretty intimidating at times. So then it turns out so when Terry goes home, it turns out that his dad isn't there, and that the words "ha ha ha" are spray painted all over the walls over and over again, kind of like how Joker's was in Suicide Squad. But we're not talking about that train wreck. We're talking about Batman freaking Beyond. So it turns out his father was murdered, potentially by the Jokers, and the family's taking it really hardly. Especially you get Terry, who hasn't spoken in quite a while. But then Terry finds the hard drive that his dad was entrusted to. He hooks it up to his computer and finds out that Derek Powers, who, if you haven't guessed by now, is the villain, is up to no good. So he goes up to Wayne Manor, rings the doorbell several times, and says, "Hey, I think something stinks in your company. It might have cost my old man his life." "No frickin' shit, Sherlock." And sure enough, Bruce Wayne opens up the door, which would cause the episode to end. So that is the first episode of Batman Beyond, and don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, because there are going to be plenty more to go. Because we still have a lot more episodes to go through. We're going to go through all 3 seasons. I'm not sure how often we'll get to go to one of them. But we'll definitely cover as much as we possibly can. So, until next time, see you later, Posse.